think about very much about keeping people stupid. I think that's.
Well, that was it. There was an interesting piece before we left California that I read from a woman that claimed the 40-hour work week was that. It was a conspiracy, and what she said that starting from like the early 1900s, it was thought that if you got people to work 40 hours or 50 hours a week, then they could earn enough income so that they could go and buy credit and buy cars and houses, and that would churn the economy, and you could keep people in their place, becoming consumers. And so what happened to the American society? It's a consumer society. And not only that, it exported it all over the world. Look at what the Chinese are becoming. They're a consumer-driven society. Everybody wants a new car. Everybody wants
about 20 million cars being sold in China now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the one guy told me on YouTube. He said by 2020, he says there could be 800 million middle-class Chinese. And I don't believe that. I think that's way out. That's another from now 8 or 9 years away. But that's what they're shooting for. I mean, that's gonna dwarf the American market here. How many middle class Americans are there? I don't know. It's certainly not anywhere near that. That's going to be the biggest market in the world, and so that's what they're trying to do is to develop their internal markets. So then they basically don't need the Europeans and the Americans to buy their stuff. But is it okay? But if you think about it. And then you think back in the 50s and the 60s, that's what people did. They knew their place. You didn't see a lot of deviancy. You didn't see a lot of, occasionally somebody may step over and become an artist or something, but everybody more or less knew your place, and you knew what to expect. So you went to college, you got your degree, you went into the company or the profession, and you did it for 30, 40, 50 years or whatever, and then you retired and bang, and you died, right? That was it. And so their expectation was there, and it happened. There wasn't, now there is no security, and certainly within in the companies, and the professions. If a college graduate comes out with $50,000 or $100,000 in debt, they may not have a job. They may be working at Walmart. They're never going to pay that debt off. And so increasingly you have to be thinking, is that why you go to school, or is that worth it? Because the security's not there.
But why is education so expensive?
I don't know. It just keeps going up and up and up.
And the reason?
It's like, what's his name? The guy from Texas running, Ron Paul, wants to eliminate the Department of Education. So it's just driving the price of education so high that nobody, it's a ripoff.
Right.
And, when, I don't know what it costs to go to UT, but is it worth it?
Used to be like $400 for in-state tuition. Now
I think they're all
over $2,000 for sure.
I think they're all most of them are like room and board, like $10,000. Yeah, all of them. Yeah. Yeah, and that's if you're in state.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in state. Yeah. So now they're complaining because Perry allowed illegal children the same in-state rates, and they're all upset over that. What do you want some? I guess they want the illegal kids to pay $20,000 or $30,000. Which they aren't going to pay. But the idea is that that whole thing in our lifetime has shifted because there is no security anymore. But what we've created is a society that puts you can't. It's adopted everywhere. Look at China. They've adopted the big houses. They've got a real estate boom, and they're worried to death that it's going to crunch like ours here. It's really vulnerable right now. It's this escalating, speculation going up.
Around Hong Kong.
Everybody wants it. Everybody wants it. You just can't because it's the cars and the houses are so visible, and the standard of living is so visible. No society has ever rejected it. Even in Mongolia, they say now. Mongolia, even the guys living way back in the mountains refuse to ride horses. They want jeeps.
Oh.
And so there's no
sad.
place, you know. I mean, look in the Amazon. As soon as they, you know,
As
what
soon as
happens?
they-
As soon as they come, they put on, then they put on ball caps and T-shirts, you know, and
Yeah.
they
the
put
Western
their
look.
guns away. They want 22s and rifles. They don't want, you know, use bow and arrows anymore. And they want clinics. They don't want, you know, they have the medicine man jumping around and, you know,
I can see some of that, but it's still.
eating roots and stuff. You know, they don't want that. So no society's been able to
Say no to.
say no to it. Yeah.